Hello and welcome, everyone. My name is Kristina Shelden, and you are joining us for our October Canadian Disability Initiative Roundup event. Roundups are fun, hour-long sessions full of art, music, and poetry. They are a celebration of people with disabilities and show that we can achieve anything. So I had to do a bit of housekeeping to start. I'll be going over our accessibility components and agenda for today. Je suis désolée, mais je ne parle pas en français.
I am sorry, I don't speak French.
Today features simultaneous English and French translation, also LSQ and ASL interpretation, and English and French captioning. Please take a moment to adjust your settings as appropriate. So first, please select your preferred language, English or French. And you can do this by selecting the interpretation option on your Zoom menu. And that's the bottom bar that pops up usually when you wiggle your mouse a little. Once you select this option, you will need to change the language settings again. You will not. You will not need to change the language settings again during the presentation. You must select a language even if you want to hear this presentation in English. And if you are using a mobile device, such as a phone or tablet, you can find the language interpretation options under More. And I haven't done it myself, so I'm just going to quickly click English. For those who require ASL or LSQ interpretation, we will be spotlighting those components throughout the presentations. We recommend using Zoom's speaker view to view the interpretations and current presenters. If you are using shortcuts, you can press Alt F1 on your computer to switch between these views. If you're using a Mac, you can do this by pressing Command Shift W. To enable captions, select the captions options on your Zoom menu. If you would like to adjust the size and placement of these captions, you will need to go into your Zoom accessibility settings. If we can support you through this presentation, please leave a comment in the chat box and someone will assist you. This presentation will feature pieces from individuals with disabilities from across Canada. Whilst we would love to hear your feedback verbally, there are too many of us here today to hear from everyone individually. Therefore, we ask that you use nonverbal reactions to show appreciation for our presenters. This includes using the reactions option on your Zoom menu, comments in the chat box, and hand waving. And if you have your camera turned on if you have your camera turned on, for those participants who have the camera turned on, we will also take the opportunity to spotlight individuals between our presenters. Please note that out of respect to our artists and those who use screen readers, we will be turning off the chat box during each performance. We want our artists to focus and for everyone to enjoy the performance uninterrupted. So to summarize, our accessibility options, please select your language using the interpretation icon option, select speaker view, enable captions if required, and finally, make sure to give us your thoughts in the chat box or on screen. Our team members are on hand to help you with any technical difficulties you may be experiencing. So I wanted to say, as a woman with Dene ancestry from Lutzelke up north, across the lake from Yellowknife, I wanted to acknowledge that I am speaking to you from the unceded territories of the Coast Salish peoples, that's Squamish, Tsleil-Waututh, and Musqueam nations. Territorial acknowledgements are just a small part that we can play in enacting decolonization in Canada. I also wanted to say here, all right, we got our agenda going on. So today we are very lucky to have Luca Lazy Legs Patuelli, who you might normally know as our host. He is a dancer, choreographer, and dance educator. And we will also showcase Maxime DPomerleau, who works for the Corpus School Dance Company. Forgive me if I said that a little funny. If I may, I think I'm on track here the right way. I would like to just talk a little bit about myself. Um, I don't know if you remember me, or am I? Let me just double check something quickly here. I think I'm in the right spot. Oh, pardon me. Hold on. Technical difficulties. All right. Well, yeah, I'm just gonna talk a little bit about myself. I don't know if you can see me yet, but you should be able to in a minute here. Yeah. So my name is Kristina Shelden. I was actually showcased on one of our sessions before, and yeah, I'm a singer songwriter, and and stumbling because this is my first time hosting and I'm a little nervous. Oh my gosh. I'm a singer songwriter and a musician, a performer, and kind of all around artist. I did do a show with the Disability Without Poverty before. I think it was 2 months ago, and I had a lot of fun. And yeah, I was excited when they asked me back, but this time as a host. Also, what I have on the horizon, just because I get a chance to talk about myself a little, I am actually in the middle of writing a new song. I think it's going to be called Here We Are, and I hope that it will be released within the next couple months. I think it should be out before the end of the year, so look forward to that. If you wanted to see some of my social medias and websites, there will be the links. Oh, I think they're already in the chat box. So you can just go over there and yeah, copy and paste. And if you want to do me a solid and follow me on Spotify or any of those, I will love you forever. All right. So I think that's all about me. So I'd like to introduce Luca, who is obviously, as I just said, is a fantastic singer, dancer, choreographer, and dance educator. Luca, welcome.
Ooh, what's up, Kristina? How are you?
I'm good.
Yo, Kristina, you're killing it. I'm so happy to be sharing this spotlight with you right now. And right now, you're replacing me, and I think you're doing an amazing job. And I'm so excited to be passing the baton slowly, and being interviewed as an artist now.
Yeah, you get to kind of relax and kind of just take it easy this time, which
It's been
must be
chilling. I've been
a bit
drinking
of
my
a
bottle of water right now. It's been nice. We're
good.
normally on the super stressed. So I feel you.
Gotta
Don't
stay
worry about
hydrated. So,
it.
Luca, why don't you start by just telling us a little bit about yourself and what you do?
Perfect. So my name is Luca Patuelli. I am also known as Lazy Legs. I am from Montreal, Quebec. I currently live in Boucherville, Quebec, in the South Shore on the Kanawakwa Mohawk territories. I was born with a disability called arthrogryposis. It's a neuromuscular disorder from birth that affects the bones, the joints, and the muscles in the body. And I have a stronger upper body and slimmer legs. Like if you guys can picture like those muscle guys at the beach on Venice Beach in
No.
California, like with the big bodies and the little legs. That's kind of like me. And I
Skipped
have a
leg
big
day?
rolling nose. What?
You skipped leg day?
Yeah, I skip leg day on a daily basis. And I always wear a hat backwards. That's kind of like my trademark. And I dance by using my crutches as an extension of my arms, and I do a lot of different acrobatic movements. And my dance style is breaking, which is also known as breakdancing or b-boying and b-girling. And I've been earning a living as a professional dancer for the past 20 years. I've
Fantastic.
traveled and toured and performed in over 35 countries around the world. And to me, dance is the ultimate form of self-expression. I
Mm.
feel that dance is an escape, and I think that dance is something, in my personal opinion, I'm a very strong advocate for dance in thinking that dance is a vehicle for change, that it's the one activity that no matter where you are in the world, you can communicate through someone with dance.
Yeah,
And
it's a universal language.
it
Yeah.
really is.
That's fantastic. And what I love about dance as well is that it combines with music so perfectly. So you get
Absolutely.
like this melding of these two beautiful ways of expressing, which is fantastic.
Exactly. And I'm
Um,
so excited for your new song, Here We Are, because this is Here We Are. Right?
I know I'm really looking forward to it as well. I'm working with a new producer, which is exciting.
Nice.
I also wanted to ask you, why are you a part of disability with poverty, and what's its significance to you?
Yeah, so I am a co-chair of Disability Without Poverty. And why am I a part of Disability Without Poverty? I think it's important as a community to come together as a whole. I find that in my experiences as a dance educator, I run a lot of programs in Quebec and Ontario and a little bit all over the world. One of the things I've noticed here in Canada specifically is that there's so many different organizations out there regarding disability, regarding inclusion, regarding accessibility, and we're all fighting for the same things or almost the same things, but we're competing against each other. And so when I found out about Disability Without Poverty, it being more of a national movement than an organization or anything else, I was attracted to being part of something that has the opportunity of trying to reunite as many Canadians as possible, as many people as possible. And the idea is, yeah, the topic is disability, but the idea is, for me, what I see out of this is more about humanity. So fighting about, disability poverty and just the injustices behind the fact that many people with disabilities are living in the poverty line. One way that we
Yeah.
can try to help encourage people with disabilities is by creating that equity line and finding a way to be able to, like, if we weren't living in poverty, or if there weren't people living in poverty, there would be more autonomy, there'd be more independence. We wouldn't be relying on things. Like, we would be learning to do things more on our own, right? And
Totally.
we'd have that opportunity to go out in public. And part of the reason why the world is not accessible is because there aren't enough people with disabilities that are out there in public on a daily basis for businesses or governments or corporations to understand the need and the importance of making things accessible. And part of it is because many Canadians with disabilities or many people with disabilities can't afford to go to certain places. So it's like, if we can fight for that and allow for it to happen, then I do believe that we will have a more accessible and a more inclusive society. And that's why I believe in Disability Without Poverty, and that's why I'm a part of it. And I don't like
Well
to
said.
consider myself. Sorry?
I said, well said.
Thank you. I honestly, like, I think that I want to be, like, I have my youngest daughter, she's 18 months, and she actually has the same condition as me. And I'd like to see her growing up in a society that is more inclusive,
Totally.
as a b-boy in my dance world, I've always been in an inclusive world. I've always kind of, like, because I battle, like, I dance, we have something called battles, and I battle against regular dancers who don't have disabilities. Like, I'm one of the few dancers that have a disability that has made it, like,
I love
in
that.
a worldwide impact. So I've gotten to recognize that, and I believe that
Mainstream.
that's
Yeah.
why dance brings people together. But outside of my dance world, I recognize that the world isn't inclusive. And so I want to make sure that I can be a part of something that when my daughter grows up, she can feel included in whatever she wants to do.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And that's one thing I actually meant to mention earlier is that, um, we want to showcase people with disabilities in these roundups, but we don't want it. We want to showcase the fact that people with disabilities not only can, perform within a disability community, but in the mainstream, that
Yeah.
there is very real epic talent that, deserves to be shown. across the nation and in all the public spaces. And so, yeah, that's what we're fighting for, is to help people get out there. And when you don't have any money, I can tell you, it doesn't happen, because you're basically just focusing on trying to live. So I'm right there with you.
And that's why I created a term called ill ability. And it's a play on words, because in hip hop, what's bad is good. So the word ill, which literally means sick, means amazing and incredible. So ill abilities is about amazing, incredible abilities. And I truly believe that everyone has a talent hidden within them. So I guess I took that time to discover what that talent is, right?
I totally agree with you. Right. So may I ask what projects that you're working on right now?
Yeah. So I'm currently working on like a lot of projects all at the same time, but my two main passions at this moment is my dance crew, Ill Ability. So right here you can see the logo of my crew. We're actually an international dance crew. We are 7 dancers representing 6 different countries. I'm the only Canadian in the crew. All the other dancers are from the US, from Brazil, from Chile, from South Korea, from Holland. And each of these dancers are dancers with different disabilities, but they're all world-renowned b-boys. And so before the pandemic, we were touring on a monthly basis in a different country around the world, doing showcases and dance competitions and motivational entertainment.
That's amazing.
So I'm hoping that as soon as travel restrictions loosen up, that I will start touring with the crew again. And I've actually just launched a web store, which you can check out. The link right now is on the text box. It's shop.illabilities.com. And it's a new brand that we're trying to promote, where all the profits are trying to help bring the crew back together as soon as things open up, because we organize inclusive dance events. So we do an actual dance battle where we bring in wheelchairs, walkers, blindfolds, and dancers without disabilities have to spin a wheel, and whatever it lands on, the dancer has to compete using whatever material as a prop. And
that is fantastic.
So the funds that we raise from our events or from our web store are going to help bring us together to organize more of these types of events. And the other project that I'm working on, which I'm excited in a couple of minutes we'll be sharing a video, is that because of the pandemic, I've been forcing myself to learn to be more creative in general. Learning how to use dance in different aspects within my art. So one of the projects I'm working on is tap dancing. So I've actually created a crutch tap. So right here I've screwed in washers on the bottom of my crutches, and I do a tap dance routine with my crutches. And so I'm working with a tap dancer and building a routine with him. But I've also been working on acting. Acting is something that I've always been passionate about, and I never gave myself the time to learn how to act because I was always so focused on dancing and performing that the pandemic helped slow things down for me. And I started taking acting classes, and I am currently doing auditions and working on trying to get myself roles. And most recently, I did a dance film where it is a dance-oriented film, but I would say that there's more acting involved in this piece than dance.
Fantastic. So we'll be introducing you as a dancer, choreographer, dance educator, and actor pretty soon. Or even now. That's really cool. You must be enjoying that a lot.
I am. I've been stepping out of my comfort zone, and I'm learning to take direction, because I'm normally the person that gives direction. So I'm learning to kind of just take it in and just also just channel in a different type of energy. And so I'm really excited to present this film to all of you. It's a film that's called Do Butterflies Remember Being Caterpillars? And this is like my first, I'd say dance acting gig that I've done, and I'm really proud of it. I stepped out of my comfort zone, and I hope that you all enjoy it as much as I enjoyed performing it.
Right on. Let's see it.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Kristina.
You're very welcome, and thank you for coming on as a showcase artist this time around. It's awesome to have you.
Thank you.
And thank you for letting me to try out the hosty thing.
You're killing it, and I'm excited to see you keep on doing it. So
keep on doing it. All right, let's check out this this video. I'm really excited to see it.
Thank you. Thank you. I was watching some of the reactions on people's faces. It's definitely a lot darker than what people are used to seeing me do. Normally I'm this like cheery, happy-go-lucky, like kid-friendly thing, and this has been really, like I mentioned, something that's I've stepped out of my comfort zone to do, but I'm really proud of it. So thank you for allowing me to share that. And Kristina, right now, I'm going to take over as host just for the next 15, 20 minutes, and I'm going to invite you back on because we're going to be doing a little bit of a French introduction. And I just want to say thank you for allowing me or giving me this moment for you and I to chat together. But right now, I would like to present, je vais tourner en français, j'aimerais présenter
and I would like to introduce one person that is extremely talented person, and she's part of a dance company here in Montreal. This is a company. The founder is a pioneer person in dance. Maxime, you and Corpuscule, you are people, you are dancers that are working a lot in the community in Quebec, in Montreal, and all across Canada, and also even in France, I believe. So you are doing so much for dance. So now I'm going to stop talking and I'm going to leave the floor, and I would like to introduce everyone, Maxime DPomerleau. Let's welcome her. Maxime, you are on mute. Maxime, you need to unmute.
Sorry. Parfait, merci. What's up? Ça va bien, ça va bien?
Super bien.
Thank you. How are you doing? I'm good. Thank you. Yourself? I'm good. I saw this short movie. It's the first time I see it. This is amazing. That's extremely cool. And yes, you look very different on that movie. Yes, usually I'm always happy. I'm always jumping around as much as I can. And so before talking about your own career, I wanted to introduce a little bit the Corpuscule Dance Company. Corpuscule is one of the first dance companies that was created in Quebec and in Canada. Could you tell us more about Corpuscule Dance Company? How was it born in Montreal and in the world of dance? Yes. Let me say a few words. So my name is Maxime DPomerleau. So I work for Corpuscule Dance, and I am in charge of communications, of social networks, and I'm also interpreter for them. So if you react, I'm going to answer you back. I'm the communications officer. So Corpuscule was the first dance company of that type in Canada, co-founded with another dance company. Roche is the name. And so there's Isaac Savoy, one of these other people. We have been working with them. And so we wanted to see elsewhere what existed. We wanted to see what was happening. We went to the UK and we went to California to see another dance company, two integrated dance companies in the world. We visited them and they were pioneers already in dance. And we wanted to inspire. We wanted to get some inspiration. France wanted to create her own dance company in Quebec, Canada. And that's how it started. Now, a few words about integrated dance. We talk more and more about inclusive dance, but what is integrated dance? This is part of contemporaneous dance. It emerged in the 80s. So this is modern dance. It came from the US and from Europe. The idea is that in dance, we want to include dancers with and without disabilities. So the key is an encounter. This is a creation of images that would not be possible otherwise. So we want to have different types of dancers with some support, such as a wheelchair or with crutches, sometimes without anything. It will only be the body of the dancers. And before I go one step further, let's watch a video. So you will have an idea about our path.
In the first video that presents Corpuscule Dance, please.
The France is going to be right here. Okay? Okay.
Sometimes there are choices that we don't dare to do. This will change our life. This will inspire thousands of other people. When you dare to say yes to what's in you. When you are not anymore affected by what other people think. When movement is part of what's magic. When the impossible seems to be feasible. When your dreams carry you elsewhere. Then comes determination, then art, then love. This changes perspectives. We are doing this for the children of the world, so that they will have a new vision. This way we can celebrate our differences. This will be a world full of hope. Whatever your origin, whatever your physical condition, everybody is entitled to go forward. Differences don't impede you from going forward. We can each make choices. Dance unites us. Everybody can dance. Support us so that we can share this fire with everybody. So that Corpuscule Dance will help others. This way, everybody can dance. We need you to change the world, one project at a time. Corpuscule Dance.
Merci Maxime pour présenter.
Thank you, Maxime. Thank you for presenting Corpuscule Dance. And I was getting emotional as we were watching these pictures, these dancing images. So we wanted to invite you with Corpuscule Dance Company because you're always in our heart. You are now part of our heart. I'm sorry, I'm getting emotional. I didn't think this would occur. I was watching these images and I was getting emotional. Sorry. France, she is a pioneer in the integrated dance in Canada. Her name is France. She's the director. And really, France has really brought this special time she brought something new, a special time for integrated dance. And I just got your message. Would you mind?
She can't unmute herself for some reason.
Because I'm not the host.
Parfait, merci. Good. Sorry.
Mais oui, Luca, moi aussi.
Yes, Luca. Yes, Luca. I also watch this video and I'm also getting emotional every time I watch it. People might not know, but France died last spring at the end of the month of April. She was the founder of the dance company. She is still alive. She is still in our heart. She is very much present. So yes, this is quite emotional. And this video shows an overview of the different components of Corpuscule Danse. First, there is a professional component, then there is a teaching component of it, especially with children, with teenagers. This is teaching, and this is based on exploring dance. We don't judge, there's no competition, and there are some mediation projects, as they are called, with the community. So you saw some footage. This was outside. And so this is part of these mediation projects. So yes, that's why we wanted to show this footage today. This really gives you an overview of her work, her achievement, and the work of the dance company. Yes, and I was privileged to share the stage with France and with your dance company during many events. It's always a pleasure to see your evolution.
Je vais juste actuellement repartager
Let's share once again the YouTube link of this video because I don't know if you got it, but at least for me, I got some messages from different people. There were some black boxes and we could not see it. So I'm going to show the YouTube link on the chat once again so that people can watch it if they want. It seems that some people got a blank screen. They could not see it. It's there. It's there. The link is there now. So thank you, Maxime. So you are also a dancer. And I think that you're also following France's path. She opened the path, but you follow her path, right? Here in Quebec and elsewhere in Canada as well. So you now have a name as a dancer. And so if you agree, I wanted to share a little bit more your dance experience. And Tom,
talking about her dance career, if we can actually show some clips of her while she's talking, if that's okay. Merci.
Oui, ben justement, en fait, moi,
all right. So I am a multidisciplinary artist. I also work with games. I worked in theater, and I've also done some movie clips. And it is France. She spotted me. She invited me to come in. She said, you should try this new type of dance. You should think about teaching. And to me, this was like a new experience in my body. How can I use my body differently with some acting as well, so that I would become part of the company as a dancer? So you see this video. This is an in situ performance. This is an outside footage within an abandoned location in France. The other interpreter is a choreographer. Her name is Maude. And so we met each other at a dance workshop. She is a choreographer in France, and she visited to Quebec in order to meet different dance companies. One of them was Corpuscule Danse, so that she wanted to create something similar in France, in Europe. And so we kept in touch. And then afterwards, I joined her in order to create this video. So this video is just a witness of that encounter. That's why I found this interesting to show you this today, because there's so much that I'm doing outside of Corpuscule as well. I work for other artists, but I always go back to Corpuscule Dance Company. This is now my base, my core. This is like my first dance company. It comes first, and that's how I have learned, because France was my mentor, and so I was able to continue afterwards. And for me, Corpuscule Dance is a place of encounters. I had made Ode, and this has led to a different project. And so this was also presented within a movie festival in Quebec, Rendez-vous du Cinéma Québécois in 2019. And so this means meeting people. So that's it. This video lasts for a longer period of time, so we can maybe get back to the regular meeting. But this was an encounter, once again, between two different artists, two different dancers. We were different. Our condition was different. Our skills are different, and we don't dance exactly in the same way, but dance was at the center of it all. So this was also a gathering. And since the last projects, there's a new project since 2019, and now we are going towards visual arts, new types of performances, not presented in traditional settings, not on stages. It might be a combination of theater, art, some puppeteering work as well sometimes. And so what is of interest for me now in my work is encountering people, meeting new people, and exploring what's possible. And this is very interesting to be visible, to be present. And when I am by myself, this is when I wonder, what is integrated dance? Is this integrated dance, or is this only contemporaneous dance, modern dance? So it seems to me that this is a new border in dance. This is something new, and we are including more and more. We are including more people. We are thinking about being more inclusive. It's thanks to other dance companies as well, such as Corpuscule Dance, that this opened the way, so that we didn't want this new trend to disappear. We didn't want this to disappear. Yes, I agree 100%. You've just said something which is significant. Is dance by itself considered to be this new trend of dance? In my career, what I see is that I have been dancing for 20 years now, and it's only today that I'm opening up to different types of projects. So I was the b-boy. I was always about me, myself, and I. Now I am opening up. I'm thinking about including more people. I am not at the end of my career. I am in the mid path of my career, but now I'm thinking about doing something else. Sometimes people start with that and then do something else. But anyway, I just wanted to tell you that if Corpuscule and myself, we can work together in the future, I'm open to that. All right, of course. Of course, I'm taking down notes. And so at Corpuscule, we also invite other artists. We invite dancers. So we have some collaborators. We have some allies that work with us in different projects. So we also make some invitations. We invite some choreographers, some people that work with theater sometimes, and often they have never worked with people with disabilities. So we are open, and they become open. So there is this challenge to learn about your own practice. But after a few years, when you are a dancer, when you are a choreographer, yes, we can do so much more. Let me ask you a question. This is a technical question, maybe not technical, but this is a question about our situation. Meaning, as a person with a disability, What does it mean? What do you think? What would you like to see? Do you see some lack of justice that you would like to see changing in the future in your life? If there's something missing in your life, in your near future? Oh, this is a big question. How much time do we have to answer the question? We have exactly 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Oh, okay. We don't have much time to answer, but there are so many things, of course, many things, but this is connected to what you said at the beginning. There is the reality, which is the lack of funding for disabled people. This is a big challenge. So often, disabled people don't have much funds, they don't have much money. Same thing for disabled artists. So there is some precarity there, some risk, some danger involved. So myself, I really work for access to culture for everybody. Culture means being a consumer, but also participating in this culture, being part of the culture, being showcased sometimes. So this is something that I defend a lot. Representations in media, representations in culture. We need to show that there are disabled dancers, disabled artists. We need to be more showcased. This is why I say that we need to be more visible. We need to occupy part of the cultural space, public space, part of the media. We need to be there. And so to me, this is connected to this desire of change, changing perceptions, representations of disabled people. We want to change the mindsets thanks to that. There are so many stereotypes, so many prejudices, so many stereotypes, a lot of prejudice. And this is important for me, but for all of the other dancers of the dance company. And there are different projects that are part of that. One of them is this question of young people. And I know that you are a teacher for children and for teenagers. So yes, there is that connection with the younger generation. I also do that with acting with my Batwheel project. So she is a super woman for disabled people. So what I'm saying is that we can make a change. We can go towards the youth. We can right away start these discussions about differences, inclusion, acceptance of your own body, of other people. This is something that was also important for France, the idea of sharing, of making people aware. And this is part in our dance company. We have another project that we are developing in that sense. It's also, yeah, so with the younger generation, we can make a change. They are open, they are smart, they are open, they are sensitive about that. And even when we were kids, I remember, and also in terms of mediation and teaching and performance, now we are connecting to the younger generation. It wasn't like that before. And this is part of my contribution, which is not to impose yourself with some big demonstrations. No, we just want to be there. We want to be present. We want to be part of the dialogue, of the discussion, and that already makes a difference. We don't want to impose. I agree 100%. And I think that it's important to be open. This is a teamwork. Disabled people and non-disabled people. We cannot have huge expectations. We need to work on both sides. We can't work alone. We need to be open, even ourselves. We need to be able to share. We need to be open-minded. And that starts with the younger generation. I agree. And I'm happy to know that you do that with Corpuscule. And I'm going to invite you now to show the next video. So what's the future? The future of Corpuscule Dance Company. Yeah. So let's watch now a short video segment which is part of my job for the young crowd. So you will see. You will see what I do. Okay, let's watch this video segment. So this is an excerpt of a performance.
Ah, c'est drôle!
Yeah. J'adore ça, c'est trop fun. J'adore juste voir.
So this is so fun. I really love to see how you can use these wheelchairs in a very, very different manner, in a bold manner. Yes. So this is a performance we did last May.
Avril et mai dernier, donc
last May and April. So this was just part of a creative moment under the direction of Guillaume Chouinard with Georges Nicolas Tremblay. So these are two dancers. We were experimenting, and you saw the last part where we see Simon with a wheelchair that doesn't work anymore. There were little lights. So this is just some imagination, just like using the wheelchair as a puppet. You see how everything changes then. So the wheelchair is not just something that you can use as a wheelchair to go from one location to the next. A wheelchair might suddenly appear different. It might be scary. It might be a constraint rather than something that gives you freedom. And this is something that is like a prop. It's not just a wheelchair, because then you saw me walking with a cane. We can go on the floor. We can use the wheelchair. We can use all kinds of images. We can use this as a prop as well. So this is just the beginning. We have other ideas of projects, but this is just to show you the beginning of a longer term project. Otherwise, we have another project as well, which is about mapping. It's called Eau Intime. This is with Marie-Hélène Bellavance and Nicolas Tremblay. They are our artists and artist directors and interpreters. And this is within an art gallery or integration with singing, with music. So again, so this is an integration of different types of art with different types of artists. There was a project that was started that was called Perte de Vue by Lucie Grégoire. She's a choreographer. So this was a 20-minute performance. And then I'm going to show you again one video segment about that performance. Marie-Hélène was supposed to be present today, but she was not able to attend, unfortunately. But eventually, she will be with us in the future, we hope. Yes, absolutely. And you're always welcome to come back, Maxime. So from my part, I wanted to thank you. This is a privilege. Let me tell you that what we see, these little video clips, this takes a long time to develop. It's so time consuming to do these performances. So I really look forward to collaborate with you in the future. So please stay there online.
I'd like to invite Kristina back on Spotlight, if that's okay.
Je veux juste terminer en invitant les gens aussi à venir
Yes,
visiter.
just as a conclusion, please visit our website. So if you want to know more about us, about the work of France, she has been awarded many recognitions as well. So we are going to add up some new videos in the future in our webpage. Come and visit us. Allow me to conclude with one sentence that France mentioned in the past. So doubt and fear should never prevent you from becoming an artist. By dancing, you become a dancer. By choreographing, you become a choreographer. A disability doesn't prevent you from being an actor, a dancer, an author, a theater person, and then you can succeed your life project. That's what she said. This is great. This is great. I love that. So let's conclude with that, with these wise words. Maxime, I wanted to tell you thank you.
Pour venir
It's a
ici.
pleasure.
Puis Kristina,
Thank you as well.
on real quick because I took over the French part, but I'm inviting you back on to finish the outro host. And I have to say that in the history of all the roundups, this is the most on time we've ever been, because whenever I host, I talk too much and we always go 10 to 15 minutes over. So I'm going to pass it on to you before we go any more overtime than we already are. And I just want to say thank you so much for taking over my role and giving me that moment to share. And I hope that you'll come back as a host more often, and that we'll have the opportunity to work together as well. And for everyone to remember, Kristina has a new song coming out in a couple months called Here We Are, because this is where we are. So, awesome. Thank you, Kristina.
Thank you, Luca. Thank you so much for helping out with that portion, because as we know, I don't speak French. I wish I did. And may I just say, wow, Maxime, like that is very, very inspiring, and I am just really grateful for what you do and that you're doing it, and that you can tell that you are passionate about it, and that obviously is going to reflect in all, in all your students and all your coworkers and all that. So thank you. That's really amazing.
Merci.
And Luca, wow. that video is something else. I mean, it really ties into what you said about dance being a language of its own, and that you didn't need any words or any dialogue to go with that in and of itself, it was just so powerful. And that what I love as well is that when there's no dialogue, you can kind of really internalize it and kind of decide for yourself what it means to you. And so I was kind of really enjoying that from my own perspective, and I'm sure everyone else did from theirs. So absolutely amazing.
Thank you.
That's wonderful. Thank you, guys. Thank you both. And my thanks to the accessibility team and the tech support team for providing their expertise and making this possible. When I first started this, I was really quite amazed and pleased with the accessibility that these RoundUp events have, which is really quite something special, and you don't see it everywhere. So thank you guys for doing that. These events are held on the second Thursday of every month. But to let you know, because there's Remembrance Day next month, we'll actually be having our next show on November 18th. November 18th. Gotta remember that. November 18th. This show will be in honor of the Indigenous Disability Awareness Month. So get ready for some amazing Indigenous talent and artists. I just got one last thing. We're actually almost done, so thank you for sticking with us as we are a little bit over time, but we're almost done. Be sure to sign up for our newsletter for registration and details on our upcoming sessions and how to get involved. You can visit our website. You'll see it there, and it might also be in the chat somewhere, at www.disabilitywithoutpoverty.ca. And that will have more information, and you can follow our social media accounts and our YouTube account for recordings of these presentations. And to get in contact with us, please be sure to email us at hello@disabilitywithoutpoverty.ca. And yeah, thanks again for joining us. Please share with all your friends and family and loved ones. We want to get this message out to as many people as we possibly can. We also, I'm sure, just want to watch as many artists and enjoy this beautiful programming that they've got going on. It's really quite wonderful. And yeah, we will see you again on November 18th for our next session in honor of Indigenous Disability Awareness Month. So see you next month.